Alright, what's up, y'all? Back to another episode of Minecraft along with some Reddit stories. There's nothing really to introduce in this one, just we're back at it. We're gonna start trying to upgrade the little house that we have. So, let's get into the first story, yeah? So our first story comes from user local moment 4782. Am I the asshole for not cooking fancier meals? I'm the only one who cooks in our house. It's just four of us, my husband, me, and my daughter, and a little brother. My husband is 27 and I'm 25. My husband barely knows how to make eggs, even though I've tried to talk to him constantly about learning how to cook. My daughter and brother are still in elementary school, so they only help me cook. The responsibility falls on me, and it's honestly exhausting. So I just set up a system in my head. It's easy. For breakfast, it's just something with eggs or cereal. Lunch is some sort of sandwich, burger, or leftovers. Dinner is the meal I usually plan, but I have like 10 dishes I repeat. Sometimes I'll go off, especially Sundays, but generally I stay because it's easier for me mentally. Well, one day I just made pasta Alfredo with chicken, and as we were eating, my husband mentions that it would be nice if I made fancier dishes. I asked him what he meant, and he explained he wants me to change things up. Add some more meat dishes and variety. Next time we went out shopping and I was putting ingredients I don't usually buy into the cart. As the ingredients started to pile up, my husband was getting all puffy and upset. We got to the meat aisle and I started picking out beef, and that's when my husband lost it and started taking things out of the cart, saying we can't afford my fancy living. I blinked at him and tried to explain that he was the one who asked for variety in different dishes, so I'm buying different ingredients. He rolled his eyes and told me I'm being dramatic. I just let him do his thing, taking out most of the ingredients out. The next week, I made the same dishes because that's all the ingredients I had. A week passed, and my husband was all pouty that I made fried rice again and that he was sick of chicken. So when I pointed out that he took all the beef out of the cart, he blew up at me again and said I'm being an asshole because he doesn't know how to cook. Am I the asshole? Okay, that's one way to start off the episode. Yeah, no, you're not being an asshole. He just seems like the kind of person who will get upset over everything. Like, the way that he's speaking, it seems like the way that you word it, it makes it seem like he's the kind of person that will get upset over every little thing. Oh, I'm telling you to do this. Why didn't you do that? I thought you'd have told this instead of that. Like, it has to be done, like, yeah. I can see why you make the same certain amount of dishes that you do, because it's a lot simpler. It's a lot easier, especially if you guys are working. And I'm assuming you guys are working, especially considering how your husband said you don't have money. So that would make the most sense. The two of you are working. You obviously don't have the time or energy to be making like gourmet meals with super expensive food. Like, even for me, I only know how to make the same like 4 dishes, but that's what I need to get me through the day. Like, that's it. If my stomach's happy and it tastes decent, it's good. So I don't really understand why he's getting so upset. I can understand getting like bored of the same thing over and over again, but at the same time he's complaining but not wanting to put in the effort himself of wanting to cook. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're allowed to be, he's allowed to be upset if he's also going to be putting in the effort and getting the ingredients and saying, no, we should start making this meal instead of that. I will learn how to make this meal instead of you making it, so that I can make what I want to make and I can make it for us. Because that would seem like the smart thing to do. It just seems like he's kind of just being ugly, to put it nicely. He's just being ugly for that. So, TLDR, no, you're not an asshole. He's just being kind of a disgusting human being. Let's move on to the next one. This next story is from user Nix. Am I the asshole for asking my boyfriend to cut down on his drinking? My boyfriend, 18, almost 19, and I, 20F, have been together for almost 3.5 years, and in the past 6 months, his drinking habits have really increased. It used to be having a couple drinks on the weekend with friends, and now he will get a 6 to 12 pack from his parents and drink 2 to 4 drinks 3 to 4 nights a week. Now we both do vape and smoke, so I understand that I have my own vices and I need to work on it. But in my opinion, alcohol is worse than weed. I do drink as well, but only 1 to 2 nights a week, and always with a friend. Recently I asked him to cut back on his drinking, especially around me, because I don't like him to be buzzed when we hang out alone, and I don't like the smell of alcohol if I'm not drinking as well. I don't notice it when I'm drinking as well. I just want to know if I'm the asshole for asking him to cut back, because we keep having the same argument about it. So, upon first impressions, there's more to this post, but I'm gonna save that for after I say all this stuff. But honestly, I don't think that you are the asshole, strictly because of the fact that if both of you are doing the exact same substances, if both of you smoke, if both of you vape, if both of you drink, he just drinks at such a higher amount, I can see why that would be a problem. Because yes, the smell of alcohol is arguably disgusting if you're not drunk yourself. As with all things, it should be taken in moderation, because getting severely drunk or getting drunk over and over again, 3 to 4 nights a week, that can lead to alcoholism. I'm pretty sure that is already mild alcoholism, and then that can spiral into further things. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard of the downsides of drinking and all the bad stuff that it can bring. Unfortunately, that's also just how society is. Like, you drink to have fun, people just drink to, get the pain away, the usual stuff. No one's fault, it's just a societal thing. But I don't think that you are the asshole. I don't think that he should be getting upset about you asking, hey, I'm not drinking, is it okay if you can't drink? Like, hey, I'm not drinking, can you please not drink tonight? Because me personally, I've had that conversation multiple times, and every single time it's always had the same outcome. Like, oh yeah, okay, that's fine, don't worry about it. You don't have to be arguing about, oh, what do you mean I can't drink? You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm assuming is what's going on. But I don't know. I don't think that you're the asshole, though. You're for sure not the asshole for asking him to not drink. If he's the one escalating it into an argument, then it splits into 2 branches. 1, is he drunk? 2, is he not? If he is drunk, then that's the end of the conversation right there. More proof he shouldn't be drinking. If he's not drunk, then I think you need to truly sit down with him and see what the further cause of him drinking is, because no one should be getting that upset about it unless they've already developed a dependency on it. And the second half of this post was written by the boyfriend, so we'll go ahead and give this one a look, because I haven't seen a post like this recently. Let's go check it out. Hi, I am boyfriend. I'd like to start by talking a bit about myself. I'm 18, turning 19 next month. I'm a responsible young man who hasn't gotten myself into any legal trouble or any trouble with my family over any substances or other issues. I have a great job and take care of my business and life as well. It is true that I'm drinking 4 nights a week, but I'm never drinking to get hammered. I do like the feeling of a buzz, and I only do it in the evenings after working or with friends on the weekend. I smoke and vape as well as my girlfriend, but she smokes considerably more. I guess my point is, in all this, if she wants to stop, I will do that for her, but I don't understand the reason why. Yes, I'm under legal drinking age, but that wouldn't be the case in the rest of the world. I'm no more hurting my health with the greasy food I eat and the vaping that I am having, and having a few drinks a few times a week. Okay. She also smokes more than I do, so I see us having the same levels of vices and habits, and we should cut back on. She's been very upset about the amount I drink now, though I don't think I'm doing it considerably more than peers my age. I have to say to her that later in life I will definitely keep it to just weekends, but I'm having a lot of fun with everything right now, and it's something I enjoy. 1, tongue twister to read. But the main point, dude, it's or it's a response to the boyfriend's thing. It's not a problem of age, because I know plenty of people, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people do, that know plenty of people that have been drinking since before 21, especially if you're in the US. Again, that's just the culture around it. People start legally buying it when they're 21. I believe I took my first drink when I was like 19, so that makes sense, I guess. But it's not a problem of age of drinking or a problem of, oh, you have more vices than I do. It's more of a problem of, if someone's asking you to stop and they're asking nicely, which I'm assuming they're asking nicely, then the correct response is to reciprocate that and, respect that, especially if they're your partner. The main problem that I do see is that, yes, you are almost 19 and drinking, that's perfectly fine. The main thing is you can't be acting like a teenager when you're drinking. I can understand it, but you can't be getting upset when someone tells you to stop. You can't be getting into big arguments saying, oh no, but you do this and so I can't do that. It's frankly immature. I think both of you are kind of in the wrong, but also more you than your girlfriend, just because of the fact that, like, if she told you to stop, it's a very simple, just cut down on it. Like, as you said, I will definitely cut down on it to just the weekend, which is a good thing, but make sure that you take those first steps now, because if you continue these drinking habits right now, as you're this young, you're going to develop a dependency, and that will lead to you not drinking on the weekends, but every single day of the week. So it's more of just keep yourself in check, listen to your girlfriend. I'm pretty sure she understands. She has her own vices of smoking as well, but arguably the smoking is a lot less harmful. If it's not a thing of harm, it's more of a thing of comfort. If both of you should be talking about it, hey, I'm not comfortable when you do this, I'm not comfortable when you do that. Either reevaluate the relationship or find a compromise. That's the best thing that I can really say. This next one is a post on Ask Reddit. The post says, Bill Gates said, I will always choose a lazy person to do a difficult job because a lazy person will find an easy way to do it. What's a real life example of this? A comment from user Sky Vodka responds, I work in a pharmaceutical company. To make a specific product, we need to bring it down from pH 13 to pH 8.6. We needed to pour 200 liters of acid into this huge volume of soup. It is sensitive only when it gets around 9, so it usually the first 180 liters are relative. It used to take 7 hours only for this operation. Once I opened the system, we used to pour acid wide open. In 20 minutes, all the 180 liters were poured. In 1 hour, it was at the correct pH. Tests were made on the product were all good, even better because the least it says in the phrase, the least the risk of contamination is. Official recipe was changed and approved, so I effectively cut 6 hours from the process. Obviously, my boss took the credit, but my job is considerably easier now. Honestly, as someone who is currently a college student, that sounds really funny. You need to put in a certain amount into a certain thing. Just pour the whole damn thing in. Screw it. Whatever happens, happens. And then it cut down time. That's a good thing to do. And you got the recipe changed. You saved time, because 7 hours is a long time, dude. Like, 7 hours working. That's a whole shift. So I can see why cutting it down that much is I like that. There is a second comment from user live_learn91. In school, my teacher had my class partner up in groups of 4 and were given a pretest. The group who finished the fastest with the most correct answers would receive extra credit. As soon as the teacher said begin, I quietly told my group, you do questions 1 through 5, you do 6 through 8, you do 7 through 11, I do 12 through 19. 30 minutes later, we were finished and we announced that we were done. The classroom erupted with, WTF, how could that be? No way. I'm sure not the first to use this strategy, but for the people in my particular class, they were all left scratching their heads like we were super fast geniuses. There isn't much that I can really respond to that one, because that makes sense. Like, I don't know what kind of schooling you were in, if you were in like a certain, if you were in high school, middle school, elementary, so on, but that's a actually really smart idea if it's like in the younger areas of schooling, because congratulations, you guys just learned how to properly do teamwork. You just learned how to do team management. Good job. That'll help you out in the real world, especially if you get like certain management positions. You can help choose where shifts will go, so on and so forth. And the rest of your team understood how to work as a team. They all have individual tasks to do, and I'm assuming if they couldn't do it, they could always ask the other ones around them, obviously. But good job. Like that's a decent strategy. That's how you get stuff done, and it also prepares you for the real world. So we take that. We take those W's. Good job, man. This next post is also on Ask Reddit from user Slim P. What if Earth is like one of those uncontacted tribes in South America? Like the whole galaxy knows we're here, but they've agreed not to contact us until we've figured it out for ourselves. Before we start reading any of the comments with that, I want to answer this myself, because this is an area of expertise that I really love to delve into. Honestly, I can very much see that happening. Like, not to the extent of our whole galaxy per se, but more of our neighboring star systems. Ooh, if there's any life on those, that's a good place where they would probably be like, yeah, no, humanity is still evolving, just gonna let them be, let them deal with their whole thing. Once they go on to a level 1 or a level 1.5 on the Matryoshka scale, then they can go ahead and get contact with us and slowly be introduced to the larger galactic community. For those of you all who don't know, the Matryoshka scale is a arbitrary scale written by a physicist, I believe, stating the scales of civilization. How each civilization goes up the scale depending on how much energy they can produce. The first stage is stage 0, meaning you are just constantly taking, nothing else. Stage 1, you can harness all the energy on your planet and slowly start building up from that. Stage 2, you can harness all the energy from your sun and your solar system. Stage 3, you can harness all the energy from your galaxy. Stage 4, if I'm right, it's from the area. After that, I don't remember the most, but yeah. As of right now, on the scale, sorry, it's the Kardashev scale. No, I was thinking of a Matryoshka brain. My head's all over the place. But yeah, basically, the scaling is still the same. It's just wrong name, Kardashev. But it's a very interesting thing to think about. Like, right now, humanity's as a 0.7 because we can harness the majority of resources on our planet, but we still haven't figured out a way to harness all energy and make it renewable. Because renewability is the number one thing about that. You have to get all the energy from your planet and make sure it doesn't kill your planet. Which is why in stage 2, the number one way to get there is to create a Dyson sphere or a Dyson swarm. So you're harnessing all the power from your sun without truly harming it, because there's just tons of solar panels orbiting the sun, or however they would make the Dyson sphere. Those are my 2 cents. I think it would make a lot of sense, and it would also help out a lot of that kind of stuff. And then it goes on to the whole Fermi paradox and all that, which I do not know enough to be talking about right now. So if y'all want to look that up, go for it. That's not something I'm going to be getting into right now. The Kardashev scale was already too much for me. Let's start reading some of these comments, yeah? From user Vintage Sunflower 7. I feel like aliens are just avoiding contact because of how weird we are. For example,
what are the humans doing now? Well, those ones are licking each other's toes. What about those ones? Those ones are protesting about the vaccines and the deadly virus that's there. Guess we're not visiting them this time.
And honestly, fair enough. I've seen a lot of posts where it's talking about just how weird humans are. The fact that we don't have the stripes on our body, stretch marks, are not the actual stripes that we have. They're not real stripes, but the stripes that we do have are invisible to the naked eye, and they're only on women. True fact, look it up. It's a very interesting genetic modification that women have, where they have stripes that are just the exact same color as their skin. The only way you can really notice that, if I'm right, it's through like a certain light, or like you can look at it through like some weird medical way. But yeah, interesting. Humans are weird. We're awesome. From a deleted user, they state, if I was a super advanced alien race and humans didn't know I existed, I would want to keep it that way. What good would it serve the aliens in this scenario? Still though, you might want to study this homicidal / power hungry species. You probably can't live on this planet, Earth. Maybe your planet is silicon based, or the O2 content is significantly higher. Just saying, you know the environment will probably wreck you. You could live in a body that's accustomed to the environment. Transfer consciousness, souls, whatever it is that gives us our ability to be sentient. Rewrite that like a hard drive. A new partition, hijacked meat bag capable of day-to-day life on Earth. If it goes wrong and you don't get full control, the humans will just say the target is demon-possessed or crazy. None the wiser, if it goes right, you can start your own social media platform or crash BTC overnight. That is something I did not think about. I like that idea. The main reasons that aliens have not contacted us is because they cannot live in our area. Are they silicon based? Are they used to a higher oxygen rich, or a lower oxygen rich environment, so on and so forth? Whatever the contents of their planet is, it'll probably mess with them the moment that they step foot here. But I guess that would make sense if they are like spacefaring, and they definitely do have the ability to make FTL travel. Then going into a meat puppet definitely seems like a smart idea. Like, it seems something within the realm of possibility for them, all things considered. Our next post is back on Am I the Asshole? From user Color Storms. Am I the asshole for throwing a cup of cold water on my naked husband? My husband has been tested for ADHD, but he doesn't have it. He has the kind of problems that are associated with ADHD, however. He says writing lists, making a schedule, setting alarms, etc. is physically painful for him, and he'd rather just deal with the occasional emergencies rather than be proactive. The specific problem: he often forgets to push the shower divider valve down. You know, the little rod on the tub faucet that you push down to make the water fill the tub. The pull up to make the water come out of the shower. For nearly 20 years, I've been asking him to push that down. Since I was literally a teenager, I've been asking him to push that thing down. At least twice a month, I have a very unpleasant wake up / cold shower because I turn the water on and get a cold spray from the shower. And every time he's apologetic. And then a week or two later, it happens again. He'll be doing this for a while and then it slips again. He'll be doing better for a while and then it slips again. He's always telling me that he's working on it and he's been better about it lately. But somehow, he's always working on it, always improving, but it never stops. Today I just had it. I stepped onto the shower, turned it on, had a very cold and rude awakening, and I couldn't take it anymore. I grabbed my cup by the sink, filled it up about 3 inches with cold water, and walked out of where he was standing naked. He had just taken off his pajamas and was going to take a shower after mine. Without warning, while he was looking down, I held that plastic cup firmly in my hand and grasped it tightly. I jerked that thing in a 45-degree angle and to get the cold water all over his torso and face. I told him that his apologies were worth the paper they were written on, and I was tired of listening to him congratulate himself for getting better when I'd been asking for 20 years to stop doing this. I told him I don't accept his apologies, and the fact that it's an accident does not excuse it. I told him from now on, every time I'm taking a shower, so is he. That I refuse to be a second-class citizen in my own home any longer. And if he refuses to make changes to treat me better, I will insist to make changes to treat him worse, because I will not tolerate any of this longer. I'm going to continue to throw a cup of water on him every time I get a surprise cold shower. I'm tired of this. Begging for basic respect and not getting it, with the implications that I have to put up with this forever. So Reddit, I know I'm probably an asshole, but am I a justified asshole? There is still a lot to this post, and I have things to say. I will speak first before we get onto the next stuff. 1, yes, you are. Like, oh my god, that is infuriating. You saying he doesn't have it, even though he got tested for it, is a huge problem. Like, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but this truly does upset me because I myself have ADHD. This is something that I deal with on a daily basis. It's not necessarily his fault that he forgets this kind of stuff. It just happens. He can try and he'll be better, yeah, but creating habits with ADHD is like the definition of trying to pick up a rock with a pair of tweezers. You can be really good at it. You can mess up the first time, and then afterwards you can slowly try to figure out the way to actually do it. It's stupidly hard, yeah, but you could find a way to actually do it. And then the moment that you got it consistent, the tweezers break. And now you have to get new tweezers, and then you have to try doing it again. And then congratulations, because you haven't done it in a while and you need to get new tweezers, congratulations, you need to learn all that all over again. It's definitely not the hardest thing to live with, but it is technically a mental disability. Whenever you fill out a job application, that's exactly what it says. It asks if you have ADHD because it is a mental disability. It's not severe, but it's still a disability, and this is the case of it. All this over cold water. As someone who has dealt with cold water, the best thing you can do, turn it on, wait for it to heat up, and then you step in. This is infuriating. Honestly infuriating. Yes, you are the asshole. Like, yes, you are. And it's not justified either. Instead, work with him to try and fix this, because this is something that he's obviously struggling with, and he's not just trying to do half-assed apologies for it. He is genuinely trying to help you out. It's just hard. The best thing you can do is support. He's not trying to treat you like a second-class citizen. Considering how he's always apologetic, that's something that you don't see unless it's like a half-assed apology where it's like, oh, I'm sorry. But like, no, that's just, no, you have to treat him with the same respect that he tries to treat you with. And if he's not doing well, then you have to help him. If he's trying to do it, go to therapy. Have him go to therapy. If you can afford it, do that. That helps. That's something that'll help you get all those ADHD tendencies, get them under wraps, learn how to control them, learn how to work with them. I don't think I'm going to read the rest of the post, honestly. I will add on to my thing. I misunderstood it a little bit, but the best thing that I can say, if you know that the problem's been happening for 20 years, you can take a little bit of extra time to fix that yourself and just, move the spigot so that it doesn't splash onto you, rather than having it splash on you like you know it's going to, and then get mad over something that is entirely in your control. Again, just help him out with this problem, because I don't think that he's being an asshole. I think you're just getting upset over something that is within your control. Now, we've reached the end of the video. This is a little bit of an interesting one, added some other different stories on there, but I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys watched to the end. I'm enjoying making these, and I can tell that some of you are too. I wasn't expecting for the last one to get as much traction as it did. It's not a lot, but it's definitely something, and I'll take that. That's amazing. So thank you guys for doing that. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I'll see y'all in the next one.